Today we're diving into one of the more quirky, underexplored characters of GTA San Andreas, Zero. A nerdy electronics buff, an RC model enthusiast, and a mission giver with a wild rivalry. But what happens after the story ends? Let's explore his origins, his role in the game, and craft a plausible future for him. Zero is introduced in San Fierro, working out of his hobby shop, Zero RC. He's an electronics expert and remote control vehicle hobbyist. His full name is not given, he goes by Zero or Z. He was born around 1964 or thereabouts in San Andreas and is based in San Fierro. He's also partnered in the story with characters like the hippie truth seeker The Truth and the protagonist Carl Johnson, CJ. His shop is struggling when CJ meets him. His landlord is selling the building, he's losing money, and his rival Berkley is attacking his business. Zero's rivalry with Berkley goes back to a science fair where Zero won, Berkley lost and swore revenge. So from the outset we see Zero as the underdog, the nerdy guy who's driven by tech and hobby culture rather than gang wars or big crime. That makes his position in a game of gangsters and heists all the more interesting. Part 2. Zero's role. During the game, in the sequence of GTA San Andreas missions, Zero plays a key side role. He starts by asking CJ for help. CJ purchases the RC shop, so Zero can keep his place and continue his hobby. Then CJ goes on missions for Zero, taking down Berkley's delivery vans, RC plane warfare, model aircraft hijinks. Zero also aids in major plot heists. He helps CJ and Woozy plan the Caligula's Palace casino robbery by giving tech support and participating. Yet, despite his involvement, he also messes up a bit. At one point, he leaks the heist plan to Berkley, putting CJ's operation at risk and prompting CJ to punch him. At the end of the story, Zero's shop is in better shape. His rival Berkley has been forced to leave San Fierro, and Zero has at least survived the main action. Importantly, no canonical death is given for Zero. He is listed as alive in the Wiki Part 3, the What Happened After scenario. Alright, now we reach the core of today's video. What could happen to Zero after the events of GTA San Andreas? Since the game ends for him, with him alive and his business saved, let's imagine his next chapters. A. Immediate aftermath. After the Caligula's heist, CJ and his allies go separate ways. Zero, meanwhile, takes stock of his hobby business. With Berkley gone, Zero has a chance to expand his RC empire. He rebrands the shop slightly, moving from just Zero RC model store to full electronics hobbyist hub. Drones, remote vehicles, maybe indie robotics. Financially, the asset mission for Zero's shop becomes available to CJ in-game, which suggests the business now generates profit. So realistically, Zero gains stability. His landlord issue solved, his competitor cleared, his connection with CJ established. B. Longer-term development. Zero keeps evolving with technology. As the 1990s move into the 2000s, he begins exploring early internet, hobbyist computing boards, Arduino type in modern terms, remote drones, model aircraft racing clubs. He becomes a local expert in San Fierro and perhaps beyond of hobby electronics. Think of him speaking at model air shows, being invited to tech fairs. Given his quirky lines, life is nothing but misery, briefly interspersed with agony. He perhaps also develops a fandom, Zero as the nerd success story in the criminal gang-dominated world of San Andreas. See possible future plot hooks and personal growth. Rival emergence. Perhaps a new rival appears, a successor to Berkley, who challenges him in drone warfare or RC racing. Personal life changes. Maybe Zero eventually leaves San Fierro to travel or open satellite branches. Or maybe he mentors younger hobbyists. Tech meets crime. Given his history, a natural angle is Zero being pulled into a smaller-scale criminal technical venture. Hacking, remote surveillance, drone theft. But maybe he resists. Redemption and legacy. He tries to stay clean, away from gang life, using tech for good or just for fun, while his past with CJ reminds him of the cost of being on the fringes. D. Where he might be now, in-universe. In 2000's timeline, 0. Still alive and still runs the hobby shop, or chain of shops. Reinvested profits into a workshop/community center for remote vehicles. Occasionally appears in San Fierro local events. Teenager hobbyists ask him for help. Possibly semi-retired from high-risk missions, focusing on his passion rather than gang wars. Maybe in his late 50s or 60s, remember his birth date approximately 1964, but still sharp, still tinkering. Part 4. Why this works and what it means for you. This narrative works because Zero is fundamentally a hobbyist, a tech geek in a world of violence. That contrast gives him unique potential beyond the game's story. It's also a great canvas for a video like yours. You can show mission highlights, discuss his character arc, then build this afterstory to engage fans who wonder, what next? For your channel, English, car parking multiplayer oriented, but with GTA content as extra, you can tie in clips of Zero's missions and quiz viewers. If you were Zero in today's world, what hobby would you pick? Use the afterlife to imagine mods, scenarios. E.g., Zero opens an RC drone racing league in car parking multiplayer. Engage comments. Ask viewers how they see Zero's future. So there you have it. The full journey of Zero. From hobbyist in trouble to mission giver to successful tech hobby entrepreneur in our imagining. He's one of those characters whose story doesn't end when the credits roll. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments. What do you think Zero's signature model vehicle would be in 2025? Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll look at another GTA legend and maybe bring car parking multiplayer into the mix too. Until then, keep tinkering, keep gaming,